Who needs GTA 6? You can be a turnip that trips over lasers and robs a bank. Now, just a couple days after defeating a god and committing tax evasion, this turnip boy fella is left with no choice but to turn to crime. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank follows a turnip that has fallen in with a gang of criminal vegetables, the Pickle Gang. Together you and them, you plan and execute the weirdest heists, where you shake down hostages, steal precious valuables, all whilst battling with fuzz and using wacky tools to get as far as you can through the waves of enemies. Snoozy Canoe has made a comedic spin-off game to Turnip Boy commits tax evasion that takes the absurd humour of this quirky vegetable world of the first game and pushes it to a faster, more action-heavy gameplay direction. Unlike the first game with its Zelda-like exploration, robbing a bank has become more like a roguelike. Repeatedly robbing the same bank, gathering wacky weapons, like a shotgun cactus or a fish that can be used as a bat, all whilst gathering various devices from the black market and collecting cold hard cash from patrons of the bank. You break ATMs or blow up vaults, all whilst fighting the pigs and security guards that usually resemble strips of bacon and donuts. Runs are short, sweet and always full of chaos, all while encouraging you, the player, to experiment with different rotations of gear and equipment. The loop is simple: rob the bank, upgrade, repeat while making each run feel different to the last with various comedic situations that you find yourself in. For me, one of the strongest features of this game is in the writing. The humour is incredible. It thrives on absurdist humour. You're telling me sentient vegetables are committing crimes like the ones that are plastered all over the news? Followed by its ridiculous dialogue and satirical jabs at corporations and pillars of society as we know it, like the police I mentioned earlier. The tone never quite takes itself seriously, which encourages the game to feel light and quirky during the most repetitive sequences. The absurd humour and witty dialogue are by far the game's best feature. The world is ridiculous, and that's all part of the fun. The replayability with those roguelike mechanics and random elements that make each heist feel unique and fun. You'll always want to break into this vault of content and find new gear and see what kind of humour the game throws your way. Attempts are over in a flash, leaving you longing for just a couple seconds more. This quick form heist makes certain that you're never bogged down by unneeded filler content and cutscenes, all while keeping the action fast paced and refreshing. With a wide range of weapons comes a wide range of ways to play. You can experiment in each and every run, making each one different to the last. Yes, sure it's a roguelike, but even they get repetitive after a while. The core loop of the game and its story remain the same throughout every run. There's only so much random you can throw at me before I become familiar with the patterns. There's a story, sure, it's riddled with humour, but the story itself lacks a little depth and is relying heavily on the humour and wackiness to carry the game's mantle. There's only one other fault that I could see, and that's the difficulty curve. While the randomness adds replayability, the lack of a substantial difficulty progression makes the game feel too easy after a while. More challenging enemies or even more heists could be that extra added missing layer. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank is an absurd, fast-paced roguelike with a humour between its layers. It takes the antics of the original and makes it look like child's play, not the Chucky kind, but it turns it into something even more insane. The gameplay is chaotic, the writing is top tier, and the whole experience is a plethora of fun. Even if there is a minor issue of repetitive gameplay, it's still worth it. If you're looking for a game that doesn't take itself too seriously and gives you a good laugh, I'd highly recommend this, especially where it's free on Epic until the 12th of March. Worst case, you lose nothing. Best case, you find a new roguelike to entertain you for hours. And maybe, just maybe, you might get all the gold the bank has to offer. Now, I've been CursedTitan, and if you want more of me, all of my links are in the description.